Hey, good people. I want to welcome you to this conversation. Thank you for joining me. I highly appreciate your presence here with me. My name is Dakpannah Uton Nicholas Smith, the indefatigable perspicacious Dakpannah. I have come to discuss few issues arising from the motherland. When I talk about the motherland, I'm talking about our common denominator, our common patrimony, Liberia. That's a country that we all love so dearly. I know you love Liberia and I too love Liberia. Liberia is our country. So I've stopped by to discuss trending issues from the motherland. I want to encourage you to share this live, tell a friend to invite a friend. Let's us all be a part of this conversation. This is a national conversation that's involved every Liberians. So I consider this as a conversation between you and I. You can place your comment within the comment section. If you want to disagree with me, you want to agree with me, but this is my personal opinion on issues within the country. Firstly, I want to begin with the National Election Commission. The National Election Commission. So the National Election Commission kick-started the voter registration process. Kickstart the voter registration process. They kickstarted it, but it was very poor. It started on a very poor note. Before the process could have started, I listened to the National Election Commission on many times where they held press conferences. I also listened to the spokespersons of the National Election Commission on various radio stations in the country. And they said that they were fully prepared. They said that all was set and ready for the process. But then I was shocked to have listened to quarters. You know, I'm a panelist on a program on Freedom FM called From the Print News. So on day one of the process, which was on yesterday, March 20th, we were on that platform and people started to call in and express their dissatisfaction in the process. According to them, they said that, and I'm not just talking about one or two persons, I'm talking about multiple callers that called into the show. They said that the process was very slow. In fact, the NEC staffers, it's like they don't even know how to operate the equipments. Most time they said that the system were down. For them to even register people, it will take up to 1 to 2 hours before they can get done with one person. So because of that, people felt frustrated. People were going through a lot of constraint, difficulties, standing on the hot sun. And I was like, what is going on with the National Election Commission? I thought you guys informed us that everything was set and ready for this process. So why is it now that this National Election Commission, people going there now to get their voter registration done, and the process is slow? There have been a lot of lapses. It is because of what? Poor preparation or what? And somebody also told me that most of the equipments that they are using for the process, they seems like those equipments, they are just not working. Those equipments are malfunctioning. And thousands of dollars was was not thousands, but hundreds of dollars was pumped into this process. Hundreds of dollars were pumped into this process. So I really don't know what is really happening. And if this continue to happen, what happened on yesterday, if it continue to happen, for the remaining days, I'm afraid that we will have a low turnout. You have a lot of people being discouraged, like they always are. Most people are already discouraged. Most people, they are already discouraged with the process. People don't even want to register to vote. People are saying that, well, they don't want to get involved with election because every time they go and vote, people don't live up to their promise. Their problem are not solved. They don't see the transformation. They don't see the change. So most people, they are discouraged. And we are always on various platforms calling on the people to go and register so that they can be eligible for the voting comes October 10th of this year. But then at the end of, after we have done all of that, or we are doing all of that, if the people listening to us and the goal to get registered and start to face constraint difficulties, the NEC is not putting an act together, a lot of wrong things happening, the process is very slow, there are a lot of complaints coming from the various centers. It's like, it's frustrating. Then how will more people be encouraged? But the NEC made us to believe that everything was on course. I listened to them when they appeared before the House of Representatives. When they appeared before the House of Representatives, they said that everything was on course. Even though they complain about some financial constraints, some financial difficulties, but I guess that will be handled by the government. Yes, they did complain about some financial constraint, but they said as it relates to the equipment and the process, they were ready. Everything was set for them to start. So I really don't know, and I really don't know why we are getting these complaints. And also, they appeared before the Senate, the Liberian Senate. They gave us assurance that everything was set and ready for the process. So I really don't know what is going on. I really don't know what is happening. What is really going on at the various centers, for the various registration centers. So I think that the NEC need to put its acts together. They need to seize the situation that occurred on day one and see how best they can right the wrongs. They need to right the wrongs. Put in all the proper mechanism so that the remaining days can be smooth, so that people can go and register with ease without going through difficulties like they experienced on yesterday. This is the same way the whole census process started. I don't know whether the NEC didn't learn from the latest. That's the same way the National Population and Housing Census process started. It started on a very poor note, and now the NEC is repeating the same. The NEC is repeating the same. If Liberians don't turn up to register in their numbers, the NEC will be held responsible. And look at the time they provided. The time is very short. They only provided 21 days. 21 days for 6 counties from March 20th to April 9. That's the first phase. 21 days. That's the first phase. From March 20th to, how you call it? April 9th. And the second phase will cover 9 counties. From April 21st to May 11. Now, one of the problems that I have here is this. We are experiencing these difficulties, all of these hoodoo-baloo surrounding the process as it relates to the running of the equipments within Monserrado County and other surroundings counties. So if these things, these wrong things happening right now, what about the other counties that are far to reach? Those counties that are in the rural part of the country, how will it be like? This is very concerning to me. This is concerning to me, and I'm sitting here like thinking, what is really going on with Liberia? Why can't we get things done properly? Every time we try to do things, it's always done poorly. Can we learn from our errors? Can we correct our mistakes? Are we just a country we will just be in trial and error, getting involved with trial and error? This is just the order of the day in Liberia, and it is quite frustrating and it's disappointing. We cannot be proceeding in such a manner as a country. I think the National Election Commission should be blamed. This blame shouldn't be placed on the government because NEC is independent. Even though, yes, they are under the government, but they are autonomous. They are independent. They make their own decision. They don't take instruction from the president. They don't take instruction from government ministers. Nobody they take instruction from. They function independently. That's the reason why all of those commissioners on the board of the National Election Commission, they are all what? They are all on tenure position. That the president can just fire them at peace or at will. No. So I really don't know. This thing, yes, this is the first time we need to be appreciated. How will we be appreciated when the people started this planning process ever since? They inform us that they started the planning process ever since. How will you go send people to work on these equipment when they don't even know it? Didn't they carry out or training? Didn't they carry out training? I thought that's how it should be. I thought they should carry out trainings where people will be trained on how to operate these equipments. But it's like the process is very bad. On day one, the process was they started on a poor note. I'm calling on the National Election Commission to step up to the plate, because we will blame them. If anything wrong should happen, we will blame them. We will hold them responsible if anything wrong happens. If people don't turn out to register to vote, if we have a poor turnout, then it will be the NEC fault. They will be at fault for everything that will happen. So we're calling on them that the remaining 20 days, that they should be able to put all of the proper mechanisms in place so that the right things can be done. We don't want to have a situation where people will feel discouraged. There are many Liberians who are already feeling discouraged with voting in Liberia. But we and other people, we coming up to encourage them to get involved with the process, because it is their constitutional authority, it is their constitutional mandate and responsibility to get into exercise their franchise. This is not a privilege, it's a right. As long as you are Liberian from 18 upward, it is your right, it is your responsibility to get involved with the voting process. But nevertheless, even though there are a lot of wrong things happening involving the voter registration as involved with the National Election Commission, but I'm calling on all of you under my voice, Liberians, those of you in the diaspora that have your relatives back home, tell them not to be discouraged, not to feel discouraged. Nothing comes easy. The change that we all want in Liberia, it will take time. Development comes with pain. So we all need to exercise restraint. Let's be more patient with the process. All will not be rosy. There will be difficulties along the way. But I'm encouraging you guys to be steadfast. Let's all of us go through the process. If you go there, if it calls for you to stand for 2-3 hours, I'm appealing to you to do it for for the sake of country. It won't be every day. It won't be every day. You won't do it every day. You won't take a day at least to stand for 2-3 hours. Even though it's not a justification for people not to do the right thing. I'm not justifying. I'm angry with the manner in which the NDC is proceeding. I'm very angry with the manner in which the National Election Commission is proceeding. I'm angry. But that's the system we have. As we condemn them, as we criticize them for their poor performance, we want to also appeal to you to please go get involved with the process. Go there. If it costs for you to take the entire day, make sure you go there and get yourself registered so that you can be eligible for the October 10 election. I'm calling on all of you guys within the motherland, those of you that in the diaspora, under my voice, please, let's get involved with this national engagement. This doesn't have to do with any political party or individual. It has to do with all of us. Because if you get yourself registered to vote, you will be part of the process, and you will be a part of the decision making of Mama Liberia. So I'm calling on all of you guys to not feel discouraged. Get involved with the process. Take a day or two. Make sure you get registered so that you can be eligible to vote. NEC, please. What occurred on yesterday, it shouldn't repeat itself. I hope you guys have learned from what occurred on yesterday, and I hope you guys have put in the necessary modality or mechanism in place so that the remaining days can be smooth. Now, okay, so that's it for the voter registration process in the National Election Commission. Let's go now to this whole saga. I call it a saga. I'm talking about the sad passing of Shalom Musu. As we all know, Shalom Musu is the niece. She's a niece to former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scott. She's a niece. She lives with her before her death. On February 22nd, we were informed by the family or by the former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scott that armed robber visited her home, and due to some serious altercation, Shalom Musu was stabbed and she was pronounced dead on arrival. It was a news that was so difficult and hard to accept, that such a brilliant, a promising young lady will lose her life to the cold hands of death. This is totally sad. It's quite frustrating. And I want to extend my deepest condolences to the Musu's family for the loss of Shalom Musu. But the investigation is ongoing. Scott said that this armed robber went into the house, and when, according to what the family said, the armed robber went into the house, they were trying to get at her, and that armed robber got tussled. The two girls tussled him, and he managed to stab them. But because Shalom was very tough, so he stabbed her multiple times. And she said that, according to Gloria Musu Scott, former Chief Justice, she said she had to come in and use pepper spray to weaken the armed robber. That's what we were told by the family. But as the investigation went on, The police went there, and even some media institutions went there as well. But what they discover is like the home wasn't broken into. The entire place was intact. So how did the armed robber got in? How did that person intrude into the premises of former Chief Justice Goromuzu Scott? How? And according to the police, I listened to the police a spokesperson. He said that so far the investigation, when they went there to investigate, there were 2 securities on the site, on the premises at that night. 2 securities. According to the securities, they said that nobody broke into the place. According to the police spokesman, he said that the securities told them that they were outside and they heard this loud noise from within the house. When they first went to inquire what was really happening at the site, it was like they told them that, oh, nothing, no, it's okay, everything's okay, just nothing, that's just a misunderstanding, you know. But then later on, after things got worse from within, that's how they started shouting from within the house, armed robber, armed robber, armed robber. But the entire house was sealed. The entire house, it was sealed. The gates were all locked. The windows, doors, everything was closed. So they just couldn't get into the house. They just couldn't get into the house. So it was later on, I don't know, according to the information, they tried to break through the window to enter, and then later on, someone opened the house for them to enter. And that's how they didn't see no armed robber. They didn't see nobody, but they saw the girls in the pool of blood. One of them was critically ill, and the other one was wounded, but not that, not that bad. So that's how can they rush them to hospital. But according to what we gather, according to what former Chief Justice Goromuzu Scott told us, that when the situation occurred, and according to the pastor as well, she ran to the Justice Minister Musa Dean. She didn't escort the girls to the hospital. She didn't. She went to Justice Minister Musa Dean. What was discussed at that meeting is not yet disclosed. We don't know what she went to Justice Minister Musa Dean for. What kind of discussion they held. I don't know what kind of discussion. We don't know today. But she said she went there. And then at the end of the day, Shallow was rushed to the hospital along with another little girl. The other girl called, I think her name is Amy. But Shallow was pronounced dead. And Amy is undergoing treatment. But the issue here is that it is true that Shallow was killed. Yeah, but it is what was said. Was she killed by an armed robber? Was she killed by an armed robber, or it is just family misunderstanding that led to her death, that the family is not coming out to say it? According to Colonel Prince Mova, I think Colonel Prince Mova is the 103. He's one of the deputies at the Liberia National Police. I listened to him on ELBC State Radio. He said that from as far as the investigation is, there is nothing to show that anybody broke into that house. There is no proof of evidence that somebody broke into the house. Nothing at all. There's no proof of evidence to show that somebody broke into the house. So what is really happening? What really went wrong? And according to the police, they have now declared Chief Justice, former Chief Justice Gloria Muska, and her entire household as people of interest. It is something that we don't know. And I listening to the daughter, one of the daughters of former Chief Justice Gloria Muska. She's reside in the United States, and she always come on. We even broadcast her life on Dakpannah 24 News and Television, but she is not really clear. It's like she don't really know what she's saying. She like somehow confused. She like saying things, contradicting herself. She's not coming clear to really tell us what really happened. But the thing about it, the last broadcast she did, she was only care about the body. She said, "Oh, we need the body. We need Shallow body. The government is refusing to give her the body. We want to give Shallow a decent burial." And she also talked about how her man is a top-notch lawyer. She was one of the lawyers when Luster sells suits Orange and all kind of stuff she was saying. But why are you not particular about the investigation? Why you're not particular about who killed Shallow? How did she lose her life? Are you not focused on bringing the perpetrator to book? Don't you care about that? You're only after burying her. The reason why the government decided to put a halt to Shallow being turned over to the family is because the government want to do autopsy. And a autopsy cannot be done when you bury Shallow. So Shallow got to be under the government custody until the autopsy can be done, so as to how you call it, identify the cause of her death. The government is investigating this thing. And I pray that the government will continue to investigate, promote time and energy, seriousness to this investigation. They shouldn't be deterred. It shouldn't be because there's a big woman involved, so it should be swept under the carpet. This shouldn't be swept under the carpet. There is some foul play when you follow all of the scenario, when you listen to all of what occurred surrounding the death. There is some foul play. So the government need to continue to investigate. The Liberia National Police and other investigators need to continue to investigate to logical conclusion. We need to come to the end of this investigation. The investigation need to be closed. There should be a closure. It shouldn't be that other investigations are being conducted after some time, after the public outcry get done with, and then everything just ceases down. It just like nothing happened. No, we are talking about a young, promising female. This lady, she's very much smart. She's supposed to graduate from STARS. She was studying RT. So there's a smart young lady. She had lost her life. But from an unreliable source, very unconfirmed, this is what I was told. I was told that one of the daughters of former Chief Justice Gloria Muska and Shallow got into an argument. They got into an argument that led to a fist fight. And then after they started to fight, but Shallow was very tough and strong, so she started to overpower former Chief Justice Gloria Muska's daughter. So that how come former Chief Justice Gloria Muska got angry. She got the pepper spray and sprayed Shallow in the eyes. When she sprayed Shallow in the eye with the pepper spray, that weakened her. She got weakened and she fell to the floor. So that how come now, out of anger, this daughter of former Chief Justice Gloria Muska wanted to prove a point, wanted to show supremacy. She got a knife from within the kitchen and she decided to starve Shallow. She starved Shallow multiple times. And I think while in the process of starving Shallow, this other girl decided to go and remove her. She also starved this girl. That's the reason why that other girl called Ami, she was injured as well. But Shallow was stabbed multiple times, and that led her to bleed profusely, and she was pronounced dead on arrival. So that's what I've been hearing. It's unconfirmed. It's not authenticated. It's unconfirmed, but that's what we are hearing. But we are calling on the police to do that investigation. The police need to invite other investigators to get involved with this thing. This doesn't author well for our country. We cannot sit in Liberia and see these things happening and we don't investigate so as to come up with findings. People that are involved with these unwholesome acts, people are involved with the wicked and evil acts, they should be brought to book. They need to be made to pay for their devilish action. I don't care it may be who. I don't care whether it can be my mom or my dad. If they are involved with any act of cruelty, they should be prosecuted. So I don't care if this Chief Justice is hiding, former Chief Justice is hiding something from us. If she's hiding something from us, and when it's proven, she should be prosecuted. No stone should be left unturned. Everybody involved should be investigated. I was also told unconfirmedly that there was a family meeting at the former Chief Justice 16th Street residence. And then there's a lady, one of the family members, told her in her face that you killed Shallow. You need to say the truth. You killed Shallow. You killed Shallow. And she got angry. She got mad. And she said if the lady continued to accuse her falsely, she will ask the lady to leave. And if the lady don't leave, she will call the police. So you see, we've been getting all the mixed reactions, different version of what occurred or what transpired. But we are talking about a life of an human. Talking about a life of a human being. So we are calling on the police to continue to investigate, to take these investigations very seriously, so that those perpetrators will be brought to book. And I'm calling on the Chief Justice, former Chief Justice Gloria Scott. If there is anything that you know that we don't know, I think you need to save us time and just say it. Because it will be very bad if you know something that we don't know and you pretend that you don't know, and when it's on earth, they will be totally bad. You cannot know something and you don't say it only because you want to protect somebody. I don't know who you want to protect, but the fact of the matter is you should say it. You should speak to these issues. I listen to the family complaining, the family talking about government trying to push them around, government refusing to turn the body over. The government is trying to implicate them. They are the ones who are hurt, but government trying to implicate them. But the fact of the matter is there is no proof to show that somebody intruded, somebody burglarized that place, or somebody broke into the house. The house is still intact. There's no break-in, no sign of break-in. So you need to come up. Y'all need to come up. All you guys that were in the house that day, that fateful night, on the 22nd of February, y'all need to speak out. If y'all know something that we don't know, y'all speak out. Because no matter how long, the truth will be on earth. So that's it for the former Chief Justice and the late involving the late Shallow Musu and so forth. So I consider it as a saga. So let me go to the last point here before I take my exit. We all know the University of Liberia is the only state-run university that we have. That's the only state-run university? No. Okay, we also have Tubman University. Okay, so it is the biggest state-run university that we have in the country. The University of Liberia. For some time now, since the inception of this Weah-led administration, we have been seeing some acts of violence on the campuses of the University of Liberia, most especially the Capitol Hill campus. As you all may recall, many government officials been going on that campus, on Capitol Hill, and have been intimidated, disgraced, insulted by few militants from the Student Unification Party. And this is totally wrong. We have condemned their actions. On July 26th of last year, when the Student Unification Party decided to protest, to petition the United States Embassy on what they believe to be the poor and leadership of President Weah and the mismanagement of the country resources by President Weah and his government, some guys from the CDC COP attacked them. It was reported that one of their colleagues was badly wounded, beaten and badly wounded. We all came on and condemned them. President Weah spoke to the issue. He condemned the CDC COP. President Weah even disowned them. He said the CDC COP, they are not part of the CDC, because if you are his follower, he's a man of peace, you should also be a person of peace. You should be a person of peace. You shouldn't do things that he would not do. He called on the police to arrest them, and they were arrested. They were called in, they were arrested, and they were prosecuted. So as I speak, they have been of a place, and they are being placed before the court. So they are being they are being prosecuted as I speak. But you know, some of the things that can really make me so annoyed. Some of our public officials, they are not informed. They are not informed. I don't know they are informed, they are aware, but they are just trying to play politics. They are pretending not to know. Now, I will get there. What I'm trying to say, you will get to know. You will see the connection. So, it has become a pattern for the Student Unification Party to always intimidate, insult, and embarrass or disgrace public officials who try to go on the university campus. The last one that occurred was the guy that works with former Minister Samuel Tuer. He went on the campus. If I'm not mistaken, I've been getting information that he's a teacher. He teaches at UL. He's teaching at UL. That's why I've been informed. He was on the campus having lunch with one of his instructor colleagues, and then these militants or soup, like they did to others, they did it to the legs of Nathaniel McGill, Samuel Tuer. They did it to VP Joao Howard Taylor, They did it to Mana Emo Mentia Glasgow. They did it to, how you call it, Serena Cephas. And they did the same thing again to Elisha Howe. Chase him out of the campus, disgrace him. They also injure him, damage his vehicle. So after that happened, the representative of District Number 8, Mosorado County, Honorable Akaras Mosegre. District Number 8 is where the University of Liberia is seated. The Capitol Hill campus is seated within the district. So Akaras Gray, I don't know if it was because of what transpired involving Elisha Howe and those soup militants. That's the reason why he posted that he was going to visit the University of Liberia on Monday. He was going there to have lunch and meet some of his students that he's supporting. When that information came up, the Student Unification Party got very angry. The Student Unification Party got angry to the extent that they threatened him. They said, they double dare him to put his foot or his feet on the university campus. The university campus is a no-go zone for him. He will not go there today. He will not go there tomorrow. It will be all there. Dead body. If he dare try to go there, he will meet up with stiff resistance, and he will have a shock of his life. They did press conferences. They call on various radio stations. They say all kind of stuff. So when the money came, there were a lot of Liberians called on Honorable Gray not to go. He should just avoid them. But that's Honorable Gray constitutional right. The soup militants do not have no right not at all to try to infringe on the right of the honorable, to stop him from accessing the campuses of the University of Liberia. No, that's wrong. No, that's not. No, it's wrong. No law gives them the right to do so. They cannot do that. But nevertheless, people call on him not to go, but the honorable man said that he will go. There will be nothing that will stop him from going. And he went. He was further guarded. He marched from his 12th Street residence, and then went on the campus. They tried to prevent him, but that couldn't happen. They were overpowered. And that led to chaos on the campuses of the University of Liberia. That led to chaos. But the honorable man went there. I'm disturbed. I'm against every act of lawlessness, every act of violence within Liberia. Anybody that wants to destabilize that country shouldn't be given any ground in Liberia to stand. If it is your mind, if it's your dream, if it's what you want to destabilize that country so that the country can go back to the dark days, you shouldn't be given space. You should be criticized by everywhere in Liberia. So I was sad to see the violence that erupted, and I consider it as an unprovoked attack against the lawmaker, because the lawmaker has the right to go on that campus. It is a God-given right. And in fact, this University of Liberia campus is what? Within this lawmaker district. So I really don't know what those students, what they are really depending on, that they will try to stop people from accessing that in the campus of the University of Liberia. This is totally wrong. And then after the honorable was there for some time, I think that 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours, he left the scene. Then when we went to go look, the University of Liberia got crowded out, very more chaotic after the honorable left, with Honorable Yeka Kodoba in the soupest. So the guys from Soup, they went there, paraded with Onoyeke Koluba, representative of District Number 10. They paraded with him, and they call him hero, and they refer to Honorable Akaragwe as Zogo. Can you imagine? A man like Onoyeke Koluba. This is the man that is bringing shame and disgrace to the Honorable House of Representatives. Look at the way how he proceeds. Look at the way how this honorable lawmaker represents the Yeke Koluba carry himself. He's very reckless in his utterances. He's very defiant, rude, arrogant. This is the kind of man that was celebrated by the student from the Student Unification Party. How will you be celebrating a man like Yeke Koluba? As we all can recall, Yeke Koluba, when he was the head of the SOD during the regime of President Taylor, he, in collaboration with the anti-terrorist unit, they led a death squad on the University campus and beat up students on the Capitol Hill campus. Beat up students, took them out of the classroom. They conscripted some of them and sent them on the war front. This is the man that you can celebrate him. Yeke Koluba he doesn't have, Yeke Koluba doesn't have no history of doing any good things on a university campus. But on Akaragwe, there are a lot of records to show. It's written all on the wall. His huge contribution to that university. He has always been there for the university. In fact, he once served as member of the University of Liberia Board of Trustees. He has always been there for this university. He has always been there for the youth and student community. So why would you want to disrespect a man who has been there for you guys? And then you want to hail somebody who at one point in time beat on students at that same university. I don't know what Liberia is turning into today. The young people need to put their acts together. The young people in our country need to know that violence is not the answer to solving problems. The Constitution provides the space for us to express our grievances as a people. You cannot take the law into your own hand. Who are you? What right, what authority do you have to stop somebody from accessing the University of Liberia? What right? Who gave you the right to do so? We should condemn this. I see everybody condemning on Akaragwe. But the fact of the matter here, the truth must be told. The truth must be told. And I have come to tell you guys the God-fearing truth. If you like, you can call me a government supporter or a government propagandist. I don't care. But the fact of the matter here is that it was totally wrong. And listening to lawmakers in support of the students' action. Can you imagine? How will you want to be in support of act of lawlessness? Is this how we should solve problems? They are accusing those of government officials that they embarrass. They accuse them of being involved with corruption. But they're forgetting to know that one is innocent until proven guilty. Those people, they haven't been prosecuted at all. They haven't been taken to any court. So why will you come on and call them corrupt? You don't have no facts that they are corrupt. It is because they are supporters of the government, or it is because they are, how you call it, working within the government. So why are you hearing Yeke Koluba? Yeke Koluba also works within the government. So why are you hearing him? So why would you want to prevent Akaragwe from accessing the University of Liberia campus, and then you celebrate Yeke Koluba? You hail him, you parade with him on the campus, but you stopping Akaragwe. We can't be proceeding like this. Then people want us to sit here in backgrounds. Well, we were not background. It's not because you are not supporting this government, so you don't see nothing wrong with the attitude of those students. It is wrong in capital letter. What they exhibited on the campus on March 13, it was wrong. It was totally wrong. Let us be men and women enough to condemn these wrong things when it happens, no matter which part of a political divide we may be. I'm an independent mind. I'm a journalist. I speak to the issues based on the way I see it. We cannot be proceeding like this. We need to do well for our country. Now, I listen to some senators saying, justifying the actions of the student, saying that the reason why the student doing what they are doing is because the CDC COP, who supports the government, went ahead and attacked them on July 26th, and nothing has been done. Are you kidding me? Why would lawmakers? I'm sorry. Okay, so why would lawmakers come up? Why would they come up and say that when the CDC COP carried out the act, nothing was done? Why would they want to lie to the Liberian people? Something was done. President Weah came out and he spoke. He condemned the action of those guys. And he called on the police to investigate them and have them prosecuted. And that was done. I follow those guys. When they were questioned by the police, they were even placed behind bars, I think for a night. They were in prison for a night or two, and they were arraigned before court. As we speak, they are before the court. They are before the court. They are before the court. So why would lawmakers come on and say nothing was done? Nothing was done. That's a blatant lie. How you want to come and just mislead the Liberian people? Because our society is very gullible. So anybody can just say anything. Everybody's all wrong with it. For the record, let me inform you guys. Those guys from the CDC COP, they are before the court. I think criminal code A or something, one of the criminal codes. They are before the court. They are being prosecuted. So you cannot come and say, oh, when they did that thing, nothing was done. President, we are condemning them. We all of us, every Liberian, we condemn the action. But today, you guys are yet to condemn the action of those students. You guys are not condemning them for their wrongdoings. You are hearing them only because it is done to public officials who are supporting the government. Government officials that are part of the CDC party. Those are the people you guys going after. And it is alleged that the student action is not for nothing. Those students are being sponsored by some opposition or political leaders. Some opposition political leaders, they are sponsoring those students for carrying out act of mayhem on that campus. Act of lawlessness on that campus, and it's wrong. That's not how you will win election. That's not how anybody will win election through violence. I listened to the U.S. ambassador. He spoke. He talked about how some of us Liberians sitting in the U.S. here and sending in misleading information about our country, and we are not doing justice to ourselves. Every time we sit on the internet, we always negative about Liberia. Not because George Weah the president, but it was the Liberian people who elected George Weah. The Liberian people elected George Weah. So who are we? Who am I to question that decision? That was the majority vote. President Weah was elected through the popular mandate of the Liberian people. So if you think that President Weah is not performing as you expected, it's incumbent upon you and all of us to go to the ballot box and not elect him. But until that can be done, we need to live with him. We need to live with President Weah as president. We need to respect him. We should start respecting the presidency only because George Weah said there as a president. No. I will continue to differ with anybody who want to promote or encourage act of lawlessness in Liberia. I will not support it today. I will not support it tomorrow. So it has to stop. Our lawmaker cannot be lying to the public. Senator Prince Johnson, Senator Darius DeLong, Senator Senator Cappy, and the rest of you guys that was saying that oh, when the students, the reason why the students doing these things because they were provoked, and they were provoked on July 26. One of their guys were beaten. Nothing has been done. That's not true. The government cannot take the laws into their own hands. The government cannot. The government cannot take the laws into their own hands. The government is investigating. The government already investigated and turned them over to the judiciary branch. So it is the judiciary now that close with the authority now to prosecute them, to investigate them. They have pleaded not guilty. So that gave the process a chance. Let's give the process a chance. But you shouldn't be lying that nothing was done. Something was done. The guys from the CBCCOP, they were prosecuted. They are before the courts right now. I think criminal code A or something, one of the courts. They are before the court. So that call on the judiciary to speedily investigate the matter. But instead of us saying, oh, nothing was done. No, something was done. We should stop the sycophant behavior. Let's stop the sycophancy. We are too much into this kind of sycophantic attitude. We know the thing, but we're pretending not to know it. So these are the three things I chose to speak to, and I will condemn any act of lawlessness in Liberia today, tomorrow, anytime. If you like, you can call me any names you want to call me. I don't care. But I love Liberia even better than you. Liberia is on my mind every day, every time I think about Liberia. I read about Liberia. I follow happiness in Liberia. And we'll continue to speak to these issues within our country. We'll continue to add our voice to the national discourse. This time around, nobody will go back to the bush. We'll not go into the bushes. We'll not take our arms. Because we are frustrated. We'll use our voices. We'll use our various platforms. Every medium afforded to us. Every medium provided to us will be used for us to air our views. We will not relent. If the government does wrong, we will criticize and condemn the government for their wrong actions. If you guys in the opposition or whosoever independent do wrong, we will criticize. Our head is very big to fit anybody mouth. No, it's very big. So we will not relent. We will continue to add our voice to the national discourse. So I'm calling on all of us Liberians to be patriotic and nationalistic, no matter which part of the political divide. You may be from the ruling party, you may be from the opposition bloc, or you may be independent. But we all need to stand firm to our belief. We need to uphold the Constitution and respect the laws of our land. No matter whether we are in the country or we are out of the country, let's uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia and respect the laws of the land. Let's be objective. We cannot be selective in our criticism. No. We should be objective. We should criticize when the need be. We should condemn when the need be. Let's be objective. Let's be fair in our analysis. We shouldn't be taking side in the national conversation. No. You get a right to vote for whoever you want to vote for. But it is wrong for you to be selective and not objective. So I want to say thanks to all of you guys. I appreciate all of you guys for following me on this podcast. And if you are just tuning in, this is Dakpannah 24 News and Television. And I'm here in a conversation. I'm just expressing, my mind on few trending issues within the country. At least I have the opportunity to do it. And I will always make use of this platform available to me to add my voice to the national discourse. So those of you that will join after, I want to say thanks to all of you guys for watching. Continue to share this live. Continue to follow us, like our page, follow us and we want to say thank you all. Let's put Mama Liberia first in all that we do. Let's make Liberia our interest. Let's put aside our personal interest, our personal desire. Let's put Liberia first in all that we do. I want to appreciate all you guys, and I want to say goodbye. See you another time. Thank you all. Shalom. Thank you.